It all started with a storm that had been brewing for years. Behind the polished podiums and carefully crafted soundbites, two titans of American politics had been circling each other like gladiators. Senator John Kennedy of Louisiana, with his Southern wit and razor-sharp tongue, and Representative Adam Schiff of California, the cool, calculated prosecutor turned lawmaker. What began as heated debates on the House and Senate floors soon exploded into something far more personal. Something that would shake Capitol Hill to its very core. Asterisk the headline that lit the match. Senator Kennedy files $80 million defamation suit against Adam Schiff. The country stood still. The lawsuit alleged that Schiff had, over the course of several years, repeatedly and publicly defamed Kennedy, calling him a Russian apologist, dangerous extremist, and even questioning his mental fitness to serve. According to the suit, these accusations not only harmed Kennedy's reputation, but triggered a wave of threats, public humiliation, and personal loss. Asterisk, but the story didn't begin in a courtroom. It began in the heart of a man who had had enough. Senator John Kennedy, known for his deadpan delivery and homespun wisdom, wasn't a man easily rattled. But the past few years had worn on him. He watched as his name was dragged through mud on national television, podcast after podcast, clip after viral clip. It wasn't politics anymore. It was character assassination. Asterisk in private moments. Kennedy's voice trembled as he spoke to his staff. He admitted feeling betrayed by the system, by the very institution he had fought for. Most of all, he worried for his family, especially his grandchildren, who had been bullied at school because of what their grandfather was being called online. Asterisk. The breaking point came during a televised hearing where Schiff, unprompted, took a jab at Kennedy's dangerous rhetoric, suggesting he was doing Putin's work for him. Kennedy sat there, stunned but silent. That night, he didn't sleep. The next morning, with a steel in his eyes, he told his legal team, "We don't go to war with swords. We go with the truth." The $80 million lawsuit wasn't about money. It was about honor. Asterisk filed in federal court. The complaint meticulously laid out the timeline, video evidence, and expert testimony that demonstrated the fallout from Schiff's public attacks. It was a bold, almost unheard-of move, a sitting senator suing a sitting representative. Asterisk, the media went into a frenzy. Networks chose sides. Twitter exploded. Kennedy was praised by some for finally standing up to the D.C. bullies, while others mocked him, calling the suit a circus act. But Kennedy didn't care. Asterisk, the drama reached a fever pitch when Adam Schiff appeared live on national television for a primetime interview. The host, visibly eager, asked, asterisk, greater than Congressman Schiff, "How do you respond to the $80 million lawsuit filed by Senator Kennedy accusing you of defamation and character assassination?" Asterisk, there was a pause, long and heavy. America held its breath. Asterisk, then Schiff leaned forward, eyes sincere, voice low. Asterisk, greater than I may disagree with Senator Kennedy on nearly everything. But if my words, however passionate, caused harm to his family or misrepresented who he is, then I failed not just as a representative, but as a human being. And for that, I apologize. Live right now, to him and to the American people. Asterisk, the host's jaw dropped. The studio fell silent. No one expected that. Back in Louisiana, Kennedy was watching the broadcast with his chief of staff. For a long time, he said nothing. Then, without looking away from the screen, he simply murmured, "Well, didn't expect that." Asterisk, he turned off the TV, took a deep breath, and looked out the window. Asterisk, the next morning, Kennedy held a press conference on the steps of the Capitol. The sun was shining, unusually bright for a Washington August morning. Asterisk, I filed this lawsuit, not out of spite, but out of principle. We live in a time when words are weapons, and we can disagree, Lord knows, we will, but we cannot destroy one another. Congressman Schiff's public apology was not just unexpected, it was redemptive. I've instructed my legal team to suspend all proceedings, effective immediately. The crowd gasped. Cameras flashed. The country watched as Kennedy extended his hand across the aisle, not in weakness, but in profound strength. In the weeks that followed, something unusual happened in Washington. Civility, even if only briefly, returned. Several lawmakers from both parties publicly condemned the toxic rhetoric that had come to define modern politics. Others began holding joint town halls, attempting to model discourse rather than division. As for Kennedy, he returned to Louisiana with his head held high. He had fought not for ego, but for the dignity of discourse. And as he told a group of college students at Tulane, greater than you don't have to shout to be heard. You don't have to hate to be strong. And sometimes, the most powerful thing a man can do is simply stand not in anger, but in truth. The message was clear. In a time of noise, honor still matters. And sometimes, even in politics, forgiveness can surprise the world. The end.